Hello and welcome to today's session. This is the module 2 of tourism management. And in this module, we're going to be discussing the types, forms, and components of tourism. Forms, types, and components of tourism. Now, the tourism industry is diverse and it is most multifaceted, encompassing a wide range of activities, destination, motivations, travel, and travel patterns. To effectively manage tourism operations, professionals must understand the forms, the various types and forms of tourism, as well as the components that make up the tourism system. Now, understanding these distinctions helps tourism professionals design better products, segment their markets, and deliver value-driven experiences to different category of travelers. Now, what are the learning objectives? By the end of this module, learners should be able to differentiate between types of tourism, explain forms of tourism, identify and describe key components of tourism industry, analyze how these components interact to create a complete tourism system, appreciate the significance of understanding tourist behavior and motivation in tourism management. Now, what are the classifications of tourism? Now, when we say classifications of tourism, we're talking about, based on purpose of travel. Classification of tourism based on the purpose of travel. We have leisure tourism, business tourism, religious and um, religious and pilgrimage tourism, uh, religious and pilgrimage tourism. For example, those who go to Mecca, those who go to Israel, health and wellness, adventure tourism, cultural and heritage, educational tourism, ecotourism, sport tourism, and gastronomic tourism. Now, we also have classification of tourism based on geographical location. Now, in this, we have domestic tourism. Domestic tourism, this is when a resident travel, travel by residents within their own country. That's domestic tourism. Travel by residents within their own country. Example, a Nigerian visiting the Obudu Ranch. For instance, you live in Lagos and you travel all the way to Calabar to visit the Obudu Ranch. That is domestic tourism. Now we have inbound tourism. It means non-residents traveling into a country. Example, tourists from France visiting Kenya or Ghana. We have outbound tourism, residents traveling to another country. Example, Nigerians Nigerians visiting Dubai or London for holiday. That is outbound tourism. And then we have the regional tourism, travel within a specific geographical area, such as tourism within West Africa or within the European Union. And then we have the international tourism. International tourism, this is travel that crosses national border, involving both inbound and outbound movements. Now we have classification of tourism based on duration. Classification of tourism based on duration. Excursion or day tourism involves visits lasting less than 24 hours, often without overnight accommodation. For instance, these are the kind of things that we did when we were in secondary school, when you go to places like Olumo Rock, Badagry, Slave Trade Camp, and all of those things. And then we also have short-term tourism, that's visits lasting between 1 to 7 days. And then we have long stay tourism, visits exceeding a week, such as extended vacations, study tours, and medical treatments. Now we have classification of tourism based on organization and planning. based on organization and planning. So we have the package tourism organized that. So the package tourism is usually organized by tour operators who combine travel, accommodation, and activities into a single package. Then we have independent or free independent travel, FIT. Travelers, this is when travelers plan their own trips using online booking tools and personal preferences. Then we also have tourism. Group tourism involves collective travel of people with shared interests, often guided by an agency. We have mass tourism, that is tourism, large scale tourism to popular destination, often standardized and low cost. Alternative tourism focuses on unique, authentic, and sustainable experiences rather than conventional mass tourism. Now, in this next slide here, we're talking about the forms of tourism. Domestic tourism, travel within your own country. Inbound tourism, foreigners visiting the country. Outbound, that's when we say inbound tourism, for instance, when we have Chinese people visit Nigeria. Outbound tourism, when we who are Nigerians now visit China, residents traveling abroad. Then international tourism, this is a combination of both inbound and outbound. For example, here we stated that Nigerians visiting Calabar. For instance, we stated that Nigerians visiting Calabar, Nigerians visiting Calabar Carnival, that is domestic. Foreigners visiting Kenya for safari, that is inbound. So next slide. Next slide here, we have components of tourism. And then we have the 5 A's, like we stated in Module 1, the attraction, accessibility, accommodation, amenities, and activities. So quickly, we'll move on to the next slide, which is the tourism system model. Tourism system model. According to Leiper's tourism system of 1979, tourism consists of 5 interrelated elements. Number 1, the tourist, that is the human element. That is the traveler seeking experiences. Number 2, we have generating region, where the journey begins. That is your home country. As a Nigerian, your generating region is here in Nigeria. Transit route, number 3, we have transit route region. Areas crossed during the travel. For instance, you're traveling to, let's say, Canada, the countries that you pass before you get to Canada, that is your transit route region. Now we have destination region, where the main tourist experience occurs. That's your final destination, where your main tourist experience occurs. Now we have tourism industry and environment. That is businesses, natural and cultural settings supporting tourism. Now, this system functions effectively when there is a balance and coordination among all these elements. Now, we have importance of understanding the tourism types. In other words, we're saying, why is it important for you to understand the different types of tourism? For tourism managers, understanding the difference among types and forms of tourism helps in market segmentation, policy development, infrastructure planning, sustainability, and revenue diversification. So these are the importance of these are the reasons why it is important to understand the different tourism types. Now, examples of tourism forms by country. Examples of tourism forms by country. USA, is a cultural, and USA is usually cultural, adventure, and sports. UK is usually heritage and educational. UAE is usually luxury, business, and medical. Nigeria, our home country, is usually cultural, religious, and eco tourism. Australia is usually adventure, eco, and marine. France is usually cultural, gastronomic, and romantic. So these are the things that these countries are really known for. You know, so these are the forms of tourism based on country. Yeah. Now, in conclusion, tourism is not a single uniform activity. It manifests in different types, forms, and structures depending on the traveler's motivation, location, and duration. Understanding these variations enables professionals to design more inclusive and to design more inclusive and effective tourism. Thank you very much. See you in Module 3.